Friends, thanks for coming to this press conference. I really appreciate to discuss the union budget, and second objective is to discuss the railway projects which are going on in Karnataka, and the third objective is to discuss the decongestion of Bengaluru city using railway projects. These are the three objectives with which we will discuss. I'll take about 20-25 minutes of discussion. English is okay? Okay. Kannada, I don't know.
No, English is fine. Everybody is comfortable with English.
Okay. And then we will have a very short presentation here where we will basically show the progress of the projects and other things. We'll use that presentation for discussion of the railway projects. Friends, as you know, the NDA government got a historic mandate. After 60 years, a Prime Minister was elected for the third time. And this is on the entire base of good work done in the first and second terms by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. The good work which reflects in the field, which is visible in the field across the country, north to south, east to west, every part of the country, people are seeing a change in their lives. I worked extensively in the different parts of the country, and everywhere people say that what did not happen in 60, 70 years, that kind of work is visible today in the last 10 years. And that is the foundation of Bharatiya Janata Party's work, NDA's thing, free food, all those programs have made a big change in the lives of the people. In the lives of middle class, there is a lot of change because of the infrastructure projects, metro everywhere, and new airports, new universities, 390 universities constructed, built in the last 10 years, new IITs, new IIMs, that basically helps the middle class. The major demand which was coming from the middle class families was about the tax rate. So, as you are all aware, a major decision was taken in this budget that there will be no tax for middle class families up to 12 lakh annual income. What I want to share with you is the thought process behind all these programs. If you go back to 2014, our country was in a shape where despite so much talent, despite so much technical capabilities, despite so much entrepreneurship, our country was considered as one of the fragile five. And that was because of bad policies of the UPA government. From where Atalji left 2004, from there to 2014, the economy actually came into a very bad shape. People started talking about India as one of the fragile five economies. Fragile five as in it can break any time. That was the condition. From there, 2014, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, he took the responsibility of the country, he started first building up the institutions. Institutions like banking, our banking institution was in very, very bad shape in 2014. Today it is one of the most profitable and healthy banking sector in the entire world. If you look at the entire world, if you compare, it is among the most healthy banking sector. Our housing sector, middle class families were suffering because they had paid money to the builder and the builder was not delivering the houses. That was the condition. Just go 10 years back. It's not very far away. We can remember those days. So housing sector was cleaned up. New acts were passed. NPA was a big problem, non-performing assets. That was cleaned up. IBC was passed so that the people who are not performing properly, they can be properly, that those assets can be taken and given to somebody else. A large infrastructure project was taken up. Everywhere highway construction improved. Railway construction improved. Everywhere new airports started coming up. So if you look at the entire process, our PM's economic thinking is public investment in social digital and physical infrastructure. Just go back 10 years, cold rock was the biggest discussion everybody had, right? Getting a connection made was a difficult thing. And today, we are among the best 5G networks in the entire world. More than Europe, better than US, that kind of situation we are in today already. Lowest data rates. Social infrastructure was given equal weightage. 390 universities have been set up in the last 10 years. IITs doubled, IIMs doubled, AIMS doubled, medical colleges, new medical colleges opened. Everywhere the thought process was build the institutions, get the country on a good foundation, make sure that our system is working properly for the benefit of the people. That is the thinking behind all our decisions, all the decisions that Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji takes. And the focus was on the low-income families and the middle-class families. That is where the focus is. In the occupation groups, if we look, a lot of focus has been on farmers and MSMEs. These are the two occupational groups on which huge emphasis has been given in the last 10 years. We have seen the Kisan Samman Nidhi program. Today, rarely you will find a problem where farmers are in such a distress. 10 years ago, you recall, there were suicides after suicides used to be the news. That is no longer there. Farmers are getting very good MSP remuneration. The amount of MSP which is given is more than 3 times what it was 10 years ago. Lot of focus is there on productivity. Lot of focus is there on getting better technology in agriculture. Same is the case of MSMEs, getting better credit terms, making sure that the MSMEs are paid by the big companies who are their customers. All those things have happened in a period of time. That is why the 10 years, despite the COVID period, we are seeing an economy which is the fastest growing large economy today, and inflation is under control, and we are in a situation today where we can confidently say that we will keep growing at 6 to 8% in the coming years while keeping inflation under control. I gave you a bigger picture of the economic thinking, right? Now I'll come to the specific points of the budget. In this economic thinking, as I said, our Prime Minister and our Finance Minister have always kept the lower income and middle income families at the core of the entire thinking. Lower income, there are many programs, many new programs have come up, and for middle income families, middle class, this year the major tax relief was given. 12 lakh rupees per annum, 12 is a big jump from the past. I am sure many of us sitting in this room know people who have got benefit because of this, right? The second big thing in this budget is the investment program that we have taken up so far is going to continue in a very big way. So, if you recall, 10 years ago, the investment used to be just about 2.5 lakh crore. Just about 2.4 lakh crore was the investment done by the government. Today, the investment is of the order of 15 lakh crore. The government capex program is 11 lakh 20,000 crore, and the effective investment, which includes the grant in aid given for various programs, various schemes, combined that the investment is of the order of 15 lakh crore. So that means every investment means new employment generation, new opportunities coming for our people. new growth potential for everybody. New investment means, for example, if Bengaluru gets a new terminal, airport, then obviously more people will work there. More people will get opportunities to have more shops there. More people will get opportunities in ground handling. Lot of new things start coming up. Let's say a new station is built. Then more opportunities come for the people. More employment gets generated. People get more growth potential. So new investment means new growth potential. Second is complete focus on MSME as a new engine of growth. Our MSME Honorable Minister is with us. She will be able to give many details of the programs. But here the big focus is on making sure that the MSMEs get enough capital to run their business. So credit and early payment of the invoices, these two are the major problems for any MSME. These two are going to be the major focus of our government as an announcement in this budget, as a program of this budget. For credit, there will be many new things. For example, prepaid credit cards. For example, UPI based credit lines. For example, making sure that the public sector banks come up with new programs. For example, making sure that the cash flow details can be used by the MSMEs for getting the credit rating and getting the subsequent credit. Those kind of programs will come up in the coming days. The second is about getting the payments in time. So, as we know, our MSMEs are big exporters. So, cross-border bill discounting systems, what we call, technically we call it factoring, factor market. So, factoring, or in easy terms, bill discounting is the common term we use. So, within the country, bill discounting is already established very well. So, to give you an example, if MSME supplies to a big company, then the payment comes after, let's say, 4 months. So the MSME's capital is blocked. Correct? So how to unblock that capital? To unblock that capital, there has to be a mechanism by which the invoice which is given by the big company should be good enough to get the payment done to the MSME. Right? So that payment can happen in 15 days, 12 days, 10 days instead of 4 months. Then the capital comes into rotation. That is the thought process by which this announcement in the budget has been made. Third is huge focus on manufacturing. We all know that India is a very important services economy. And Bengaluru is a good example of that. So many GCCs, so many IT services. Apart from services, employment generation happens in manufacturing sector. 10 years ago, Make in India program was launched. The program is a very big success. Today we are among the largest manufacturers of mobile phones, defense equipment. You have seen the Aero Show. So many things are manufactured in our country today. Now semiconductor manufacturing has started. So many things, servers, laptops, so many things are getting manufactured in our country now. To take it to the next level, the focus will be on employment intensive sectors. For example, footwear. Footwear is a sector in which one factory can actually employ as many as 30,000, 40,000 people. Single factory can employ 30,000, 40,000 people. Large employment intensive sector. For example, electronics. a factory nearby, it's in Tamil Nadu, Hosur, and the next big factory will come in Bangalore, close to Bangalore, in Karnataka. Single factory, 40,000 people. Single factory, mobile phone manufacturing, electronics manufacturing. Single factory, 40,000 people. The next big factory is right now under construction in our Karnataka, here, very close to Bangalore. Next time when I come here, I will visit it. That will employ single factory, 40,000, 50,000 people it will employ. So it is very labor intensive. Very labor intensive sector. Last time when I came here, we went to another IT sector, telecom equipment manufacturing company. Again, scaling up such sectors which are labor intensive, which can really employ a large number of people. That is the third big announcement. Toy sector, food processing sector, labor intensive sectors like footwear, like clean technology. This will be a major thing for our budget. The next big thing is lots and lots of focus on technology. As you are aware, without technology, growth is not possible beyond a point. So we have, Honorable Finance Minister has announced a fund of funds for deep tech startups. Bangalore obviously will be a big beneficiary of that, because Bangalore has so many deep tech startups which require funding. So fund of fund for deep tech startups will be a major thing which has been announced in this budget. The second thing is developing our small modular reactors for the nuclear energy. ₹20,000 crore has been earmarked for developing nuclear energy reactors, which are small reactors, small modular reactors. They can be manufactured in a factory and they can be installed at a place. It may take a few years to develop the entire project, but that will give us very good clean power over the coming years. Then we have many more technology items in the budget, which I'm sure AI has become a mainstream thing now. So there will be a lot of focus on executing our AI mission. I'm sure you are aware that our Prime Minister believes in democratizing technology. So how do we give access to GPUs to all the startups? So that is why we created a mechanism by which we have now got 18,000 GPUs as a common compute facility. We had made the announcement about 10-15 days back, and very soon the portal will also be launched so that the people can start accessing those GPUs. Then there will be research fellowships for deep tech, then gene bank for crops, germoplasm, then national geospatial mission. Many things are there as part of the technology. The entire thing will be built upon reforms. Entire progress, the next phase of growth will come based on reforms. And here what we mean is, our Prime Minister says that we should have enough government, but we should not have very burdensome governance. Governance has to be very smooth. People want something, it should be easy to get. People have some problems, they should be easily connected with the government and they should be able to solve the problems. Industries must not face the compliance burden. Small, medium businesses should be totally out of the purview of cumbersome laws and processes. So a mission on manufacturing, a mission for reforming the compliance is both in the financial as well as non-financial sectors will be taken up. These missions over a period of next 1 year will identify every problem, and I'll request all of you also and to the listeners who are listening to this to give your suggestions. Any small suggestion is welcome. Every small idea is good. Every idea which reduces the compliance burden in every sector, aviation, industry, taxation, stock markets, capital markets, financial sector, cities, everywhere, every such suggestion is welcome. So please come up with those suggestions. So regulatory reform will be most important. I'll come to 3-4 specific items related to the taxation. One, lot of simplification has happened in the electronics component tax systems, marine product tax system, shipbuilding taxation laws, MRO we have heard for aviation, now MRO for railways, MRO for metro sector, MRO for other shipbuilding sectors. Those also are now part of our agenda so that we can have more employment generated for this. In case of electronics manufacturing, as you know, now we are going deeper into the electronics manufacturing and focusing on component manufacturing. So there were many tax anomalies in component related taxation slabs. All those anomalies have been removed. So we can see in the coming years, today already electronics is among the top 3 export items in the world, in the country. It will gain more prominence and maybe it might become the second largest or even the largest export item in the coming years. So that is the nutshell, the entire budget. I'll take a look at the macro position. Our economy is today of about 330 lakh crore total economy, our GDP, and we are growing at 10% nominal rate. So next year will be about 356 lakh crore. It's a large size economy now and already 5th largest we know. Very soon it will become 4th largest depending upon the level of foreign exchange rates and of course depending upon whatever is happening in the world today. But in a macro level we are at a very healthy position because our debt level is just about, central government's debt level is just about 56% of the GDP. You compare it with all other large economies from top, the biggest economy US to the next economy China, then Japan, Germany, then India, then UK, France, Spain. You compare all these, we are the healthiest economy at this point of time from a macro perspective. Among all the large economies, our economy is the healthiest from the macro perspective. Our budget today is about 50 lakh crore and our borrowings as a percentage of budget is coming down consistently. Our fiscal deficit is just about 4.8%. It is coming down to 4.4%. You compare that with the developed countries today, that is in the range of 7%, 6.5%. So we are in a very healthy position from the macroeconomic point of view. And that has been possible because of a good, consistent thinking, very prudent thinking over the last 10 years. And That puts us in a good shape. Recently, I was at Davos, and the IMF chief, she was surprised when she heard about our Prime Minister's economic thinking. Very clear, cogent economic thinking. So that is the current situation. I will now come to the railway related matters. First, I look at the bigger picture of railways. You know that the railway budget allocation for Karnataka has been increased almost 9 times. From the UPA period, it was 835 crore per annum. From there, it has come to 7,564 crore. From 835 crore coming up to 7,564 crore. Total investments of railway projects in Karnataka, 51,479 crore.